Hello and welcome to the draw for this year's edition of the Singapore Cup. I'm Abhishek Ravikrishnan and I'll be your host this afternoon. And before we get things started, on behalf of the Football Association of Singapore, I would like to take this opportunity to thank the local football fraternity for your support and understanding, especially with regards to the postponement of the draw. It's been a tough few weeks for Singapore football with the loss of Mr. Lim Kia Tong, and we appreciate all the support and well wishes that have come through. It's now time to look ahead to the Singapore Cup, which returns to action after a 2-year absence. Now, before we kick off the draw, let's first hear from YAZIN BUHARI, General Secretary of the Football Association of Singapore.
A very good afternoon to participating SPL clubs and fans, and welcome to the official draw ceremony for the 2022 Singapore Cup. I'm delighted, as I'm sure all of you are, to finally be able to see the return of the Singapore Cup, which is the Premier Cup competition here in the men's professional circuit. While the league has carried on throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, we have all missed the thrills and spills that are unique to a knockout tournament like the Singapore Cup. Tampines Rovers were the last Singapore Cup champions back in 2019 after an exciting final where they beat Warriors FC 4-3, and they will fight to defend the trophy, but I'm certain that the other clubs will relish their chances in this edition. Of course, there's a possibility for clubs to qualify for the next edition of the AFC Cup, which is an extra incentive for teams to go all the way. I wish every team the best in this 23rd edition of the Singapore Cup, and I look forward to some unforgettable action. Thank you.
Thank you, Yazid. We're conducting this draw live from our studio here at the Jalan Besar Stadium, and this stream is going out to both fans and club officials and players. This year we'll see all 8 SPL clubs participating, so let's just break down how the draw will work. Here are the draw mechanics for this year's Singapore Cup.
A total of 2 pots will be used for the group stage draw. An open draw will be implemented. As such, there will be no seeding of teams. Pot A will consist of the 8 participating clubs, while Pot B will hold the group and position of teams, namely from A1 to A4 and B1 to B4. The draw will proceed in the following sequence. Firstly, Pot A, and then Pot B. The draw concludes when all 8 teams have been drawn into their respective placements.
So it's a pretty straightforward draw. Let's get right down to it. We have Mr. Aloysius Emmanuel Veda, Director of Competitions FAS, to conduct this draw. Let's start with the draw proper. First off, we're selecting a team from Pot A.
Tampines Rovers.
So the first team drawn, Tampines Rovers. Let's see which group and what position they are placed in.
Position B1.
So the Stags drawn into Group B. They're, of course, 4-time champions and the current defending champions of this competition. Let's move on to find out what the next team is.
Albrechts Niigata.
Now for their group and position.
Position A4.
The White Swans being drawn into Group A. They are also 4 times champions, and they last won this competition in 2018, and more impressively, they won all their 4 titles consecutively. Moving on with the draw, let's find out what the next team is.
Young Lions. Position A1.
So the Young Lions also drawn into Group A. They are back in the Singapore Cup for the first time since 2016. The best showing was a 4th place finish in 2008. Moving on with the draw, let's select another team from Pot A.
Hougang United. Position B3.
So Hougang taking up 3rd place in Group B. Their best finish in this competition has been 4th, which came most recently in 2017. There you see they've been drawn with Tampines Rovers. Let's now select another team from Pot A.
Geylang International. Position B4.
So Geylang International being drawn into Group B. They are twice runners-up of this competition and champions as well in 2009. They've been drawn in Group B with Tampines Rovers and Hougang United. Well, 3 teams left. Let's find out which is the next team from Pot A.
Tanjung Pagar United. Position B2.
Tanjung Pagar in Group B. They, of course, made the history books as the first ever winners of this competition in 1998. And there you have it. That's Group B for this year's edition of the Singapore Cup. Let's find out the next 2 teams and their positions in Group A, starting off with the team from Pot A.
Balestier Khalsa.
Let's find out which place they will take in Group A.
Position A3.
Balestier Khalsa drawn in Group A, position 3. They famously won this competition in 2014 when they beat record holders Home United in the final. So, Aloysius, can we have the last team and their placing? There's confirmation here.
Lion City Sailors. And their position shall be A2.
So the Lion City Sailors, Singapore's first privatized football club. They'll be playing in this competition for the very first time, and they make up Group A. That's the draw done and dusted there. You see in Group A, it's Young Lions, Lion City Sailors, Balestier Khalsa, and Albrechts Niigata. And in Group B, we see Tampines Rovers, Tanjung Pagar, Hougang United, and Geylang International. These are your groups for the Singapore Cup, and they will play each other once in a round-robin format at the group stage. That is from the 27th of October to the 6th of November. The semi-finals will be a double-legged affair. That's on the 11th of November and the 15th of November. The third place playoff is on the 18th of November. And the final is scheduled to be played on the 19th of November. Well, thank you, Aloysius, for today. Well, there's lots of football to look forward to, and you can catch all the action live on our YouTube channel, which is also where you can watch how the SPL season is going to pan out, as we are set for a nail-biting finish with the season resuming this weekend after the international break. So do enjoy the coverage. Till next time, goodbye.